Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. I am the Crypto Game Snob, and today we're going to take a look at the up-and-coming Mortal Judgment expansion set cards for a nature. So let's take a look. We can't actually get big screenshots of these yet because they don't seem to be available, but I'll do what I can here. So, kicking things off, we have the Marshwalker's Autumn Cousin, the Injured Sprout. This is basically the same as a Marshwalker with a 1/4/4 stats and has regen 1, just like the Marshwalker. However, when this creature enters the board, it takes 3 damage. That seems initially quite bad. I mean, I love me some Marshwalkers. The more Marshwalkers, the better. But having this start out as a 1/1 that has to regenerate to get to basically 1/4, that doesn't seem too good. That seems actually quite bad. Maybe there's some complementary cards that will help to make this less bad. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's see what else we get. Alright, next up we have the Vulpine Collector. This is Confused 3/2 with Tempt Fate. Now, from my previous video, you guys may have seen, hopefully, Tempt Fate will allow this creature to possibly be buffed or possibly not be buffed. Something like that. So basically you're getting a 3/2 for 2 mana that could potentially be buffed with that Tempt Fate. It's kind of a dice roll, or maybe get no buffs at all. Something like that. I'm a little fuzzy on Tempt Fate and how it works exactly. Let's see, what else we got here? We have Wars Awake. Summon 2 1/1 Injured Sprouts. Okay, interesting. 2 1/1 Injured Sprouts. That is a 2 mana card. Now, do they mean that this is a 1/1 Injured Sprout? Because that's this guy here, right? Who has taken 3 damage and he'll start to regenerate to 4, or is his health capped at 1? I'm thinking it's a 1/4 that starts out as a 1/1 that can regenerate, which would actually make this decent. If you're just getting 2 1/1 creatures for 2 mana, that would be terrible. So I'm thinking it's the first thing. I'm thinking you get a 1/4 Sprout that starts at 1 and can regenerate. So nothing, incredible there. That's certainly not probably not a card I mean, maybe. No, it's yeah, no. Let's just say I haven't seen anything overpowered yet. All right. Next up, we have a 3 mana 4/3 Swordbreaker Sage. This has Echo on it, which will basically create a duplicate of this card with 1/1 stats that cost 1 mana and put it into your hand, and its roar is to remove 2 durability from your opponent's relic. So when you play this, you will be able to remove 2 durability from your opponent's relic, get a fairly strong 4/2 creature on the board. That's kind of up there with something like Shadow Paladin. You will also get an additional 1/1/1 copy of this in your deck, so you can throw this down again and remove relic durability yet again. So this is kind of your double relic durability remover in the best case, and in the worst case, it's a fairly solid 5/3 when you do the mathematics. 5/3, 4 mana, something like that removes durability. I mean, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. All right, next up we have we already saw that one. So next up we have the Hibernating Urson. This is a 7 mana 8/8, which has at the end of your turn, and I'm only reading this all for the first time as well. I haven't read these before, so I'm experiencing all of these with you guys for the first time. At the end of your turn, if this creature hasn't attacked this turn, heal it to full health. Interesting. That is a brand new sort of system mechanic, a brand new sort of idea behind a card. So if you want to heal this card, at the end of your turn, if this creature hasn't attacked, heal it to full health. That could really extend the lifespan of this card. Yeah, interesting. I have no idea how that'll actually play out, but that's an interesting idea. Next up, we have the Penumbra Howler Roar. If you control 2 or more other wild creatures, give them +1 strength. So this is a 1 mana 2/1, and if you control 2 or other wild creatures, give them +1 strength. Okay. I mean, this is kind of comparable to something like the what is the Viking Battle Cry Bard or whatever it's called that gives +2 strength to a Viking on Roar. This is conditional. You have to have 2 other creatures on the board, and they both have to be wild. But this could potentially even go beyond that +2, right? +1/+1. This goes for every wild creature on the board. So kind of a mini version of Sing Song Satyr. Without very good stats of its own, 2/1, not very good stats, but a mini version of Sing Song Satyr. I can see this being decent. Perhaps. Next up, we have the Nemesis Wasp. This is a 3-mana 3/3 with Tempt Fate. So Tempt Fate can get this buffed up, I think, even more. At the start of your turn, this creature attacks a random valid target. Okay, so that is a significant downside. There are a few cards that do random target attacks at the start of turns, like Molna, or Nulma, or Mulna, or whatever. You never see them played because random targeting is dramatically less effective oftentimes than actually targeting what you want to hit. So could Tempt Fate buff this up considerably to make it actually worthy of that debuff at the start of your turn? This creature attacks a random valid target, because that would take away its actual attack. I'm pretty sure you can't attack with this. It'll attack randomly on its own, and you can't tell it what to attack next. So I really guess it depends on how powerful Tempt Fate is, and considering Tempt Fate is a kind of a random chance, this card could be. We really have to see what Tempt Fate does, how that works, to make a better judgment call on that. Next up, we have a 4/2/3, 4-mana 2/3 Amazon with Echo, and the roar is give 2 strength to this creature. Then it attacks a random enemy character. Oh, so this is almost like a blitz attack. This is almost like your Underbrush Boar for 4 mana. So basically an Underbrush Boar that costs 4 mana, but comes down as a 4/3 instead of a 3/3. And also has Echo. So you can do that again, actually for 1 mana. And then that Echo would basically be a 3 damage, 1 health sort of blitz attack. So this is kind of 2 Underbrush Boars in 1, really. 4 mana, for 1 more point of mana, 4 mana 2/3, or basically a 4 mana 4/3 Underbrush Boar with an additional Underbrush Boar that will basically not survive because it's only got 1 health. Kind of a combination between Underbrush Boar and Canopy Barrage. That's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, that's straight up interesting. I'd try that card. Here we have the Beast Liberator, which is a 5-mana 1/2 with Echo, and its roar is summon a random 3-mana wild creature. Again, you get to do this twice, so this is basically you're getting a second card in your hand that you can then play and summon another 3-mana wild creature. Its stats on its own for 5 mana are pretty weak. 1/2. It's almost useless. But you're getting basically two random wild 3-mana creatures. Now the problem with random creatures is that you can get some pretty bad creatures. So, but you get 2 of them, but it is 5 mana. This honestly to me initially seems expensive for what you're likely to get out of this in terms of value. I'm thinking probably a good portion of the time anyways, you're going to get skunked on what your random wild creature is. If you've ever played, Druidic Summons, I think that's what it's called, and you get your 3 random creatures. The random creatures you get can be pretty bad. So, yeah, I have a feeling for 5 mana, I don't think I'd play this. I don't think this would swing a game. I don't think this would actually be very good to even hold your ground. I could be wrong, but yeah, that doesn't seem very good for 5 mana. 4 mana maybe. 5 mana, basically 6 mana, right? Because you have to play your second card too. So for 6 mana, you're getting basically 1/2 plus an additional 1/1 of stats plus 2 random creatures. No, I would not favor this over something like Overgrown or Green Giant or Pangolin or whatever. I don't think this is a very good card for the 6 mana that it costs overall, right? When you add it up. Yeah, nah. Yeah, no, that's a yeah, nah. Maybe it'll get buffed, but who knows? Maybe it's better than I think. Sometimes you don't know how a card actually works until you play it, and that's basically, you know, bullet point, asterisk point. You don't really know how good it is until you play it. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. As I like to say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so don't listen to me. All right, here we have a 3-mana 3/3 with which is called Furious Felid. Furious Felid, which has a roar of deal 1 damage to each 1/1 creature. There's your zombie killer. I'm not sure what else this card would be used for other than killing zombies. This is your zombie killer. I don't know what else it would do. If the creature's not a 1/1, there's not a lot of 1/1 creatures. There are some, but not too many. I can see that as being your zombie killer. Your zombie counter. Not that nature needs a zombie counter. Zombie death versus nature typically has nature doing very, very well. So, you know, nature doesn't really need a zombie counter. Maybe there's some more 1/1 cards coming into the game. Maybe, you know, this would take out your card shark or some other very, you know, unthreatening cards. Who knows? But hey, maybe there's... I don't really know. I need to take a list of all the 1/1 cards and see how much value that might actually have. Next up, we have a 4-mana 3/3 with Echo that has give 1 health and 1 regen to a friendly creature. And I guess you can do that twice. Now at 4 mana, 3/3 stats is not good. For an additional 1 point of mana, you can do that again and buff up something else. Giving 1 health and 1 regen is not really a whole lot for again, I don't see this as being all that good. I mean, you get to do it again, but you're basically spending 5 mana to get +2 regen and +2 health and a fairly weak creature. It is probably at best, in my humble opinion, it's probably at best medium of the road, middle of the road. That's what I'm seeing here, kind of middle of the road at best. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. Next up, we have a 7-mana 6/6 Albino Hydra, which is a wild creature, and it has a roar of deal 6 damage to your opponent's god. Okay. Okay. I mean, does nature need to do, you know, face attacks to finish the game at 7 mana? Maybe sometimes, instead of something like charging charging Oryx. Maybe. But 6/6 at 7/7, 6/6 stats at 7 mana just for, you know, 6 face damage is probably a card I wouldn't even try, to be perfectly honest. Unless you really wanted to stack for some 7 game, you know, no, this feels very meh to me. I might be wrong, like I say, you don't know how these things are going to play until you actually play them, but that out of the gate seems kind of meh. Here we have a 1-mana 1/1 with Confused and Deadly. Okay, a little deadly creature on the board at 1 mana. It is confused, unfortunately, so 50% chance of deadly for whatever you're aiming for. Yeah, okay, a little deadly creature. Yeah, it could be interesting. Next up, we have the Vexing Rascal. What was the last one called? The Noxious Arachnia. There we go. I think that's what I don't know what it is. Anyway, next up we have the Vexing Rascal. This is a 2-mana 1/3 with regen 1. When this creature is healed, deal 2 damage to the weakest enemy creature. Okay. When this creature is healed. But what heals does nature have for its creatures? Maybe there's some more coming. I don't know. I can't really think of nature having all that many heals for its creatures. Off the top of my head, anyway. And otherwise, for 2 mana, a 1/3 creature is kind of weak. But if nature did have some heal spells for it, maybe that could be good. But we'd need some heal spells. We need to take a look at what heal spells nature actually has to throw down. And the thing is, you know, when this creature is healed, deal 2 damage to the weakest. Like, you could play that with, I guess, with Revivification, which does actually heal all your wild creatures now. So maybe with Revivification, but still you're only healing a 1/3, which is kind of weak, generally speaking. I'm getting very meh vibes on this one. You know, the 2 damage to weakest enemy creature, maybe, but yeah, I'm kind of getting a meh feeling from that one in terms of whether or not I'd want to use it in my nature deck. Again, don't know how it's going to play until you actually play it. So here we have a 3 mana 2/4 with Frontline. At the end of your turn, heal a damaged friendly creature for 1. Okay. Okay. 3 mana 2/4. Basically skeleton heavy stats for 3 mana. Skeleton heavy as it used to be, which was 2/4 at 2 mana. Frontline. Yeah. I mean, at the end of your turn, heal a damaged friendly creature for 1. 1 is a pretty small heal. Again, I'm getting very meh. I'm getting very meh. I don't think I'd care about this one. I mean, it is an Amazon, so that's, you know, cool to see some Amazon options, because Amazons are getting some love, and you get enough Amazons in there, you know. I mean, I feel like this would make a better 2 mana 2/4, right? Like that would make a pretty sweet 2 mana 2/4. It might be a little OP for 2 mana, but you know, it is a nature specific card. You could make it a 2/4 with Frontline for 2 mana. I mean, that wouldn't be the craziest thing. It would be overkill to then also add this healing text on top of it, but 3 mana seems a bit expensive. That's my opinion. Okay, next up we have a 1 mana Territorial Dominion. Your strongest creature attacks your opponent's strongest creature. If your creature survives, fully heal it. Your strongest creature. If your creature... Okay, alright. Well, I mean, it only costs 1 mana. So, I guess would trigger an extra attack and potentially heal your creature. If you're using this on something large, like your green giant, that could be a really, really big play, actually, for just 1 mana. So I could actually see this card being very powerful. Yeah, no, I would definitely try this card out. This could have some very interesting application, kind of mid to late game in particular. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, just, I mean, even if you just wanted to be able to swing a second attack, right, of your big green giant with overkill or something like that, that and alone, just being able to attack again, could be potentially huge, right? And you get to heal, you know. So nature has a lot of big creatures that often survive their attack, right? Because versus a lot of other gods, you're dealing with kind of smaller creatures. So oftentimes nature will survive its attack, and yeah, shit, that could be a very good card. Actually, I really like the potential behind that one. Next up, we have a 3 mana 1/4 with regen 1 Bark Skin Warrior. When this creature survives damage, heal it for 1. Okay. This is basically the same stat as a Marshwalker. So at 1/4 for 3 mana. Yeah, no. I mean, it is an Amazon, so it could synergize nicely with some Amazon decks. And, you know, Amazon cards tend to be weaker on their own, but, you know, become stronger when used together. So maybe with some synergies, straight up on its own, it seems a bit underpowered, but with some synergies perhaps. Next up, we have a 4 mana 3/4 Druid of the Cycle. This has Echo, which means it will make a copy of itself for 1 mana and be a 1/1. It has a Roar of obliterate a card in any void and add a 1/1 Injured Sprout to your hand. Okay. So you can add a couple of Injured Sprouts to your hand. And of course those Injured Sprouts could potentially regen up to 1/4s, potentially, as far as my understanding goes. So you could do that twice, and 3/4 on the board for 4 mana is... What is it? Our best case scenario is like a 5/5 Confused Rhino. So, no, yeah. So for 3/4, the stats are not terrible. And that you get 2 additional creatures out of that, actually 3 additional creatures out of that. Obliterate a card in any void. And actually that's an interesting thing there too, obliterate a card in any void. So if your opponent is playing, I don't know, playing Board Wipe Death, and you don't want them to bring back their Cursed Obelisk with the Corpse Crawler or whatever it's called, this could be, in certain occasions, tactically advantageous, but otherwise you get a decent amount of creatures for 4 mana. I can see myself wanting, and it is an Amazon as well. So yeah, interesting. I like that one. That one could be powerful. All right, next up we have the Leam Strider. This is a 2 mana 0/4 with Frontline and Regen. 1. Give 1 strength to this creature after it is healed. So basically I'm thinking at the end of your turn, it will get regen once and get at least 1 strength. So it will become a 2 mana, 1/4 with frontline. So I'm liking the sounds of this. This is a very nice early game frontline. This is kind of similar to something like, what is that 1/4 wormy frontline that Death has exclusive domain over now? I forget. But for 2 mana, even a 0/4 frontline is kind of not. I mean, I guess at 2 mana, yeah, it's not great. It's, you know, kind of comparable to barricades. What are those called? The 1/4 barricades. I forget what they're called now. But they can't attack. But this can attack, and it has also regen and gets stronger each turn. Yeah, and it's wild, of course, so you can synergize that with some interesting things. I can see this being interesting. Yeah, Leam Strider. I dig it. Next up, we have a 5 mana 5/5, so very solid stats for 5 mana that has Tempt Fate. So this could potentially become, I guess, much more buffed. I guess potentially much more buffed. And it has a Roar. Give Blitz to this creature if you control another wild creature, which is likely. By 5 mana, very likely. So this is a 5 mana 5/5 with Blitz. You can pretty much assume it will usually have Blitz. And Tempt Fate. Yeah. And then you can do it again with another creature with your oh no, not with, this isn't, sorry, that's not Echo. So I'm not sure how much you can buff your creatures with Tempt Fate. If it's random, if it's fixed, you know, does it come down even bigger than 5/5 maybe with Blitz? Maybe. That could be interesting. Yeah, that could be a very good card. Next up, we have a 5 mana Pack Succession. Summon a random 5 mana wild creature. Then it attacks the strongest enemy creature, and if your creature dies, summon that creature again. Okay. Summon a random 5 mana wild creature. So that could be like a moose, or something, right? I'm not exactly. There's quite a lot of wild creatures. I like that if it dies, summon it again, right? If it doesn't, at least you do damage or probably take out your opponent's creature and have something still on the board. If it does die, you get it again. That could be interesting. I see that, yeah, as being quite interesting. Next up, we have a 4 mana Warrior of Paradise. This is a 3/3 stat Blitz creature. After this creature attacks, gives 2 strength to a random other friendly creature. And it starts with Blitz. So basically, you're likely to get something buffed up, most probably. 3/3 is not the worst stats, you know, considering that you also have Blitz. And a nice potential big creature buff for something else. Yeah. And it is also an Amazon. Man, a lot of Amazons. It's going to be Amazon love time for nature, I think, when this expansion drops. We're going to probably see a lot of people playing Amazons. Here we have a 2 mana Plan the Hunt. Heal each friendly creature for 2 and give them Hidden for 1 turn. Hidden can be a very powerful mechanic, especially when you're trying to protect your own creatures. This is an epic card. And heal each friendly creature for 2. That's a decent little heal. And give them Hidden. So you can kind of keep them alive for another round that you control. Or potentially you could synergize this with something like Archimonian Onslaught or Trial of the Hydra. All of these, for example, say you throw down Blade Flies, right? And then you pip into this and you give all your Blade Flies Hidden. And next turn you've got Trial of the Hydra in hand, and then you could buff up all of your Blade Flies with your Trial of the Hydra, or you could potentially, you know, keep, throw down Aspect of Exodi or whatever, +6 regen, and then throw down your Trial of the Hydra next turn after keeping your creature safe and protected with these Hidden. A lot of times, yeah, sticking that Archimonian Onslaught or the Trial of the Hydra is very, very hard because your opponent has the chance to clear some of your big wide board efforts, right? Blade Flies, Dogs Unchained, etc. Or wild, what is it? Summons 3 wild Amazons. So, yeah, I mean, you could throw down, what is it? Something Recruit, where you summon 3 1/1 wild Amazons for 3 mana. You could throw this down as well at 5 mana, give them all Hidden, Next turn, give them all Archimonian Onslaught, turn them all into Twin Strike 3/2s. Yeah, Planner of the Hunt. Plan of the Hunt is actually probably exactly the card that Amazon decks need to pull off some of these combo plays. Archimonian, Trial of the Hydra as well. So yeah, that's I'm actually excited. I think that with this card, there's some very interesting plays that could be more reliably executed. So next up, we have a 3-mana 2/3 Forest Heart Dryad. This has Echo, and after a friendly creature attacks, heal it for 2. Okay, okay. Oh wow. Okay, so you throw this down on your board, and then whatever is on your board can make its attacks, and when it makes an attack, I think it heals itself then for 2, as long as this creature's on the board. That's my understanding, and you have a second one of these, so you could potentially throw down 2 for 4 mana, and now your creatures are healing for 4. Or you could save 1 for a little later, and throw it down later and attack with a whole big board of a big wide board, get everything healing after it attacks. That could be extremely powerful. It is an epic card, so yeah, I guess the devs know that. Forest Heart Dryad. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Let's see, what else have we got? The United Reinforcements, which is a 5-mana spell, give 2 of the following to each of your Amazon and wild creatures. I like that they're synergizing Amazon and wild, because it is good to... I've created some Amazon decks that are nice. It's nice to have some wild creatures in there just to fill it out, and give it a little bit more muscle, a little bit more hit points, etc. So some synergies there is cool to see. Wild creatures get +2 strength, +1/1 health, and what does that say? Give two of the following to your Amazon and wild creatures. Okay, so you get to choose. They get either 2 strength, or +1/1, or +1 health and a 2 heal. Okay. Interesting. Give 2 of the following. Okay, so basically you could do something like give everything +2 health and +1 regen and heal everything for 2. And like we were talking about a minute ago, what is it when you when you heal one of your creatures, something happens, and a lot of your creatures are like damaged from the start, like the little sprouts or whatever, and so something like this also then throwing a mass heal down on everything. So I can start to see that the heal mechanics that I was wondering about a bit before are sort of answered within this set. I'm seeing quite a few more healing related cards. Heal each friendly creature for 2. Yeah, right? So we're seeing a lot more healing related cards coming into this set. Yeah, interesting. Next up we have Dagon, the Dawn Wolf. This is a 3-mana 2/3 with Blitz and Regen 1. And when a creature is healed, give 1/1 to it. So I wonder if this applies to... Yeah, this is probably only when you get healed, not when you are already healed and get like that regen tick. But when a creature is healed, give +1/1 to it. Could you throw this down, I wonder? And then use something like Aspect of something, or whichever card then gives +2 regen to everything on your board, right? And then have everything heal up and get +1/1. Like, you could do some potentially crazy combos if that's true. A Blitz 2/3 3-mana is not bad out of the gate. But you would probably want to preserve this on your board, and hopefully, when a creature is healed, give +1/1 to it. It says to it. I'm thinking not to this creature, but to, and this is of course a legendary card. Yeah, that could potentially be very powerful. And I mean, it is a legendary card, so it stands to reason that it should be powerful. Here we have a 5-mana 3/3. After a creature is healed and roar, summon a 1/1 Noxious Arachne with Deadly, and then performs an extra attack. It then performs an extra attack on a random valid target. 5-mana 3/3. After a creature is healed and roar, so when this comes down, you summon a 1/1 deadly creature, as we saw that little deadly spider earlier. It performs an extra attack. It performs an extra attack. So I think basically the 1/1 Noxious Arachne then automatically attacks a random valid target with its deadly. So you throw this down and potentially take out even a big creature on the board with that deadly attack. And this summon effect occurs every time this creature is healed. So yeah, you could keep this safe on your board, potentially heal it and have it spit out these little noxious spider missiles, as it were. Interesting, yeah. And also, this is also a legendary card. Let's see, what do we got here? Last one. There might be more cards that aren't shown here for nature, I'm not sure. Or this might be the entire nature set, I'm not entirely sure. 180 cards? 190 cards in total? This seems like, I'm not sure, I didn't count them up, so there might be more nature cards even beyond what we see here. I'm not 100% sure, so just so you guys know, there might be more. Here we have a 3-mana 3/3 with Echo. This is a legendary creature. When a friendly creature is healed, summon a 1/1 injured sprout. So you get an Echo of this that also has that summon and also acts on heal. So yeah, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of injured sprouts in nature, I would say. A lot of these little guys. You guys are going to be seeing the injured sprouts. This is going to be the the thumbnail for this video, because I think this game is all about the injured sprouts. We're going to just be seeing a lot of injured sprouts, I think, when this expansion drops. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Next, we're going to talk about maybe war or death. Anyway, that video is coming up momentarily. All right.